Podcast, WATP.
Let's start off with the latest conspiracy theory that Aaron is talking about on his show.
There's this conspiracy theory out there that SP secretly runs things. And by conspiracy theory, I mean just people who are so obsessed with steel toe that they...
First off, SP is who he calls Slam Piece. That's his current girlfriend. Okay?
Wait,
So
he's been accused of revenge porn, and he publicly calls his current girlfriend Slam Piece on the air.
Correct.
Just to remind everybody that whatever he's being accused of, he's definitely guilty of and should be sentenced to the maximum. Good job, Aaron.
He's a real smart guy.
Mm-hmm.
And a romantic.
But there's this conspiracy theory out there that SP secretly runs things. And by conspiracy theory, I mean just people who are so obsessed with steel toe that they can't admit that it's their only reason for living. So they go, SP is secretly controlling everything.
All right, let's start with that. Okay. People who are so obsessed and they can't admit it's their only reason for living. See, the problem with all of Aaron's arguments and anyone rational watching this, and let's say you only watch Aaron's show and you don't know, you hear him talk about me sometimes, but Patrick Melton a lot, or Mersch or Chad Zumach, and you go, wait a second, are there people who the only reason why they exist is to hate on Aaron? Or does Aaron have an inflated sense of self? Like, who would think that anyone wakes up every morning going, I gotta hate Aaron today. That's the only thing I need to do this week. The only thing on my to-do list is hate Aaron. It's retarded.
She does everything for Aaron. And honestly, I let them think it.
Okay, here's fallacy number 2. So he goes, so guys, they think this thing where my girlfriend is doing everything for the show, and I want them to think that. Then why are you doing this segment right now where you're calling it a conspiracy theory and calling everyone who says something like this a loser who is obsessed with you? That means you don't want them to think it, obviously.
Like, how fun is that? That you have like a dozen or so people, like maybe 24 people, who are like, there is a secret. Like, I've never thought, like, even in the radio days when we were way up there, I never thought I would have a group of fans so obsessed with the show. Like, we've had fans who make fan fiction before, but they know they're being kind of crazy. They know they're mentally ill.
Okay, Adam, I'm glad that you made that face just now. He goes, now listen, have we had crazy fans in the past? Yeah, but those people knew they were crazy. That's how crazy works. That's not how mental illness works.
And they were saying nice things, so let's just leave them alone.
Right. And it was summed up perfectly by Nick Rekieta. I'm not ball washing Nick Rekieta. I'm just explaining, because the guy hung out with this guy enough that he knows Aaron is always living in the present. The past does not matter. The future does not matter. It's whatever matters in this moment to express and make his argument in this moment. So I'm sure you can go back and find him complaining about lunatics and trolls years ago, but those people now are great. And Patrick Melton and Karl are the problem, and they're way worse than those people used to be.
Wow. So he's living in a strange vacuum, because if he only lives in the present and the present is a lie,
yeah,
what kind of life is that?
Well, he has to convince himself. I know I've been thinking about this a lot, because unfortunately this week I've been watching Chad more than I have in a very long time.
Good example.
And between him and Kevin Brennan and Aaron Imholte, like, all of these guys have to make up lies all the time. And it's got to be a weird way to live. It's got to be a weird existence to have, especially like saying them to an audience over and over again. We'll get into that. I have examples of that, but let's get back to Aaron.
We have this whole group of people that doesn't know they're mentally ill, and they just keep giving me milk. Like, when I call them lol cows, like they think that I'm kidding.
So this is the thing. So now Aaron's explaining that this is actually great. He loves this. Now, keep in mind, we do a show called This Little Piggy, and I'm going to play clips of that. I'm going to show you what he's talking about here. So we do a show called This Little Piggy, and it has probably twice as many viewers as Aaron does conservatively. And the people who watch This Little Piggy, for the most part, watch it out of enjoyment And Aaron has fewer viewers. And if you look at the comments on YouTube, it's a lot of hate viewers who are clowning Aaron the entire time. But Aaron is actually loving this.
Oh.
Because these are lolcows that he's getting milk from. I'm not sure how that helps him because he's not playing clips. He's not goofing on it. He's not getting anything out of it except for telling his buddy Johnny Crutches here that we're losers and he loves it.
But his whole delivery just has the vibe of a doctor sitting patiently listening to him ramble and then going, okay, now are these lolcows in the room with us now? Can you see them?
And show me on the bear where the lolcows hurt you.
Yeah, I mean, him and John are the same. They really believe if they were to talk to a professional therapist or psychiatrist, that therapist would be like, man, you have a lot of enemies. We need to contact the police and work together on this so you are no longer victimized. I'm so sorry about all this.
You're my first patient who's always in the right.
Yeah.
On everything. It's amazing.
And it's very exciting to meet you, Jesus.
And what does he mean by lolcow? Just anyone who hates him?
Well, he thinks that. So he looks at this one thread on Kiwi Farms.
Oh, okay.
And so he goes, oh, everyone hates these guys. And it's a thread that came out of everyone who hates Nick Rekieta. So if there's anyone who doesn't say bad things about Nick Rekieta, then they're also an asshole. Because, again, and I talked about this on the bonus episode with MLC, there's a lot of people who watch shows on the internet, not to watch shows, but to take sides.
Right.
So I'm team this, I'm team that. And then they go and they type things on Reddit and Kiwi Farms and shit. And that's what Aaron watches. That's what he looks at.
Group of people that doesn't know they're mentally ill, and they just keep giving me milk. Like when I call them lolcows, like they think that I'm kidding, and they keep giving me milk. And their latest milk is SP is secretly controlling everything. Like they've even got Karl's brain. Like I've brain damaged Karl to the end. He thinks he's like SP is putting things in his background. His conspiracy theory is the pictures that Aaron's kids drew for him that are now in the background. SP did that.
Okay. So this is what I wanted to play you so that I can then show you what exactly I said. Because I don't make up things like that.
Yeah.
I talk about things based on what I either see or hear coming out of Aaron specifically. So he just said, and he loves it too. He goes, this is great content for me, even though this wasn't content at all. It's just him lying about what was said and who said what. But he says that what did he say about my brain? Hold on, we'll hear that again.
Oh, that you're broken. You're damaged. I mean,
Yeah.
He was right about one thing.
Well, yeah, that's true.
I've even got Karl's brain. Like I've brain damaged Karl to the end.
He's brain damaged me to the end because I think that his girlfriend is decorating his studio. Okay. Here's the first thing I said on this little piggy about Slam Piece on this episode is referring to now.
Well, there's been a lot lately. He has themes that come and go. And one of them really right now that he's hitting is I'm the only one who doesn't take this seriously. All these other guys don't have a life. So they don't know how to leave this internet world behind.
Yep.
And have a fun life. I'm light. I'm easy.
Guys, it might seem like this affects me because I bring it up every single day and I talk about how I don't sleep very well and Slam Piece is giving me notes on what's going on outside of what I'm looking at.
Legal issues.
It might seem like I'm consumed with this, but you are so wrong. I don't give a fuck about any of it. So that was the first thing I said about Slam Piece, that she's giving Aaron notes about what people are saying because Aaron said that. Aaron goes, I don't look at subreddit, but Slam Piece told me blah, 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 blah. And the people are saying blank and this and that.
Oh, so you figured Aaron was telling the truth about that?
I assumed that he was telling the truth about that, although I bet he does look at those subreddits. But that's what I said in response to what Aaron has told me. This next clip, I think, is what's really going to sum things up here. And, of course, Adam and I are both in this clip, so I'm not going to pause. I'm just going to let it play, otherwise it'll get very confusing. But I think this is a perfect example of Aaron says one thing, and reality couldn't be further from that. And it proves that Aaron is either a liar or he's dumb. It's got to be one or the other.
You guys are used to this, but if you haven't seen this backdrop in a while, this is the stereotypical basement of a crazy person. This is a conspiracy theorist, trying to track the criminal down. This looks like insanity.
Well-
and this is his best foot forward.
I didn't know the update. What happened this week, because I didn't see Monday morning, but clearly Slam Piece is going in there and dropping off trinkets every weekend. She put the hair on there. We got the book. There's drawings from the kids now, which I don't understand.
They're
Now
crying
he's
for
bringing
help.
his kids back into it again. Somebody
tie them
sent
all
me
together.
this week. I got Proverbs and the World War II book he has right behind him.
Nice.
So
Who are you,
I can-
Chad, with your show and tell?
No, I'm starting to build quite a collection of Aaron Imholte selections. Like if he had a book club, like I think I would be able to attend.
The one thing she hasn't been able to change, though, is April's writing of Steel Toe at the top
true.
of the board.
That's still there.
Still from April. That's still
Can't
there.
let her go.
Wow.
Yeah.
Don't you touch that. You don't touch that.
But you're right, Adam. The randomness here is what's going on in his mind. Like it's jumbled. He doesn't know where he's going and how he's getting there. I used to, I've always done the show from this basement. I used to have like Star Wars skateboard decks up behind me, and this whole room was just like Star Wars shit.
Because you're a winner.
And because I'm cool. And then I realized, like, oh, now I'm doing a video show. I should probably decorate it with WATP stuff. So now we have all this fan art that people made for WATP. But there's a theme here. You know what I mean? It's not just like, well, I'm going to have a World War II book and Jesse Ventura and the Mighty Ducks jersey and a
It's
whiteboard.
literally stuff he dug out of the closet when he was trying to catch up on orders. Like, where's all this shit April was supposed to send out? And he went through the closet, and that's where he found his old barbed wire boot and all these figurines and the standee. It's like insane.
I disagree. I think he's done exactly what you've done, Karl. Like, if you want to put a collage of what Steel Toe the show is, this is it.
You're right. Yes. It does sum up.
Weird World War II references off to the side, wrestling shit everywhere, haphazardly placed and planned things.
Sports.
Chicken scratch writing.
Well, that's the
Right-wing
goal.
propaganda, because you got the pillow guy.
Well, the board represents the goal, so that's the goal. That's money.
Yeah, the hole in the wall, like below him, is like signs of broken things that he'll never fix.
The
like
bug zapping racket symbolizes the banning of people he doesn't like.
Zap you out of his life.
And the barbed wire around his Steel Toe Morning Show sign shows that he'll never escape this.
I look at it the other way. The boot is inside the barbed wire. He wants to go back inside the bubble of radio and be protected.
Right.
That's how I see it.
Guys, what you're describing right now, I was just recently watching the Jerry Springer doc that just came out. And the guy, the producer of it, said, I want someone who's swimming through the channels on mute to stop at our show and be entertained. And this is similar to that. Like, you could see this and know what this guy's show is just with this. It sums everything up for you.
And you can know what's going on in his mind, just like you said, because at least behind you, Karl, there's some kind of order and method. You know, they're in a straight line. This is just blah. But in his mind, it is specific. No, the empty case goes on top, and then there's 3 that are filled, and then, yes, she can put that there, and then the book faces out, and then, no, keep her writing up there, but then have the woman be really, really small, because that's how women are. Have them small.
And then take the camera and make it just crooked. He told me he was like running the cash box at a garage sale right now. I'd be like, yeah. Like he could be at a Comic-Con convention selling action figures. Like this could be anything.
Now, the reason why I played that very long clip is because there was a lot discussed there that I think was actually, some of it was pretty profound. Like, we were kind of like picking up on each other's theories and thoughts and realizing that, like, holy shit, there is a lot to be said about what Aaron has done with his set that used to be just a clean logo.
Yes.
And you saw that and you're like, oh, this is like a pro show with him and his wife doing a show. And now it's a jumbled mess.
Yeah, you guys were riffing at first, and then it became, like you said, profound.
Like we're literally figuring out, and Aaron comes out and he goes, yeah, Karl's brain is broken. He said Slam Piece put this shit up here. It's like, I did? Did I? Because I'd love to hear Aaron actually analyze what I just played and kind of think through that and maybe think about that. Like, yeah, why do I have an empty box of Jesse Ventura behind me? And why is there a Mighty Ducks it's kind of just laying there for no reason.
He'd say, well, Karl, I'm constantly broadcasting. I don't have time.
He's very much like Stuttering John when he makes fun of people's grammar here. What he's doing is the equivalent of like being the filmmaker that Mystery Science 3000 are making fun of and then saying, that's not true at all what you said about my film. No, we're just making jokes, observing your world and stumbling upon truth accidentally. And you're ignoring all of that and just concentrating on the minutia, thinking it's some kind of gotcha, thinking you're speaking only indirectly to people that watch your show and only your show.
No, yeah, you're right. It's very much like let's see what's wrong with this. He spelled your Y-O-U-R. But the thing is, you're not seeing your children anymore, John.
Yeah.
It's like, that's not the point of this. Let me just remind everyone what Aaron said now that we've seen that clip.
Like, they've even got Karl's brain. Like, I've brain damaged Karl to the end. He thinks he's like, SP is putting things in his background. His conspiracy theory is the pictures that Aaron's kids drew for him that are now in the background. SP did that.
So remember, to Johnny Crutches and Aaron's audience, anyone watching this, when you say things like that are obviously incorrect, you lose all credibility, and there's no reason to ever listen to someone like that ever again and to take their word for anything. So from here on out, Aaron, play the clip. If you want to comment on me or Patrick Melton or any of these people who are obsessing with you and wake up every day just hating you and it's our reason to exist in the world, play the clip. When we're seething or whatever it is that we're doing.
Who are these podcasts?